Okay, he said it stood for Team Losers.
Now we are.
Losers. Are we?
Yeah, now we are.
Okay, I'll tell you later. But it's like you're going to, if you say stuff like that.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
So, yep.
You say things like that, and then you're like, we should all work together.
Yeah. I just got the thing on my phone, so we're good to go. Did you see Dustin Diamond died today?
Who's Dustin Diamond?
Did you ever watch Saved by the Bell?
No.
Oh, he was Screech from Saved by the Bell.
Oh, he died?
Yeah. He was also in an adult movie, which I've never seen. But
yeah, right. You've seen it.
That was interesting.
How did he die?
Cancer.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't think he was much older than I am.
Yeah. Did he smoke and stuff?
I don't know. I didn't even look into it that hard. I don't even know what type of cancer it was, but I thought that was interesting.
I remember he was on The Biggest Loser.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he was trying to do all that stuff.
Wasn't he like a super jerk face on that show too?
Oh yeah, that's like his brand.
That's right.
And if anybody called him Screech, he'd get really mad.
I feel like if I was Screech, I would just own that.
Yeah,
I'd be fine. Honestly, people have called me Screech because of my curly hair, a lot. That was one of the things. I'd always be like, make that one. Did you write that one?
Yeah,
I haven't heard that before. Brillo pad is another. Brillo head is another one.
Mm-hmm.
And what's that movie from? Is it Eraserhead? It's
I think so.
Yeah, I always get that one too. I used to get that one all the time. I was like, yeah, that's original. I've never heard that before.
Wow, master of comedy here.
Yep. So hey, this is Alex Sturgeon with the Hobbyplex here for the Hobbyplex Show podcast. Probably going to be one of our shorter podcasts right now because I don't have a laptop in front of me. I've only got my phone, and but also I've been we're building the track for the J Concepts race this weekend, and I had to bail so I could come and do this, which I didn't want to not do it. I like doing the podcast, and it just for me it's like only special occasions would we cancel the podcast, like a holiday or something like that,
Yeah.
But with me as always is
Will Brinton.
And he's looking very fashionable today with his cool J Concepts hat and Factory Team sweater.
Yeah, this is what I always wear.
Yeah.
Like I literally, I have 4 of these, I think. I don't know, 3. One of them has glue all over it.
Yeah.
That's usually the one I wear to the track. But I just, I have this, and it's laying on my bench over there. And I come downstairs from work, and I take my work sweatshirt off, and I put this on every time. Anyway, I'll wear something different next time.
No, I like that. It looks good on you.
I'll wear it more.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something that was really funny too.
Oh, cool.
About sweaters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my Hobbyplex hoodie is all jacked up. I got a bleach all over it.
Yeah.
So, pretty bummed out.
Yeah, if you want to destroy my sweater, you can just put glue all over it and walk away.
That was a go-to song for me at karaoke night back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, I love Weezer.
Yeah, I do too, actually, a lot, actually. Or OG Weezer.
Yeah. Lung cancer, 44 years old for Dustin
Screech?
Diamond. Yeah, for Screech.
Yeah. Rest in Screeches.
That's a bummer. Kind of.
That sucks.
Man. That was dark.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I mean, feel bad for the guy. Did he have kids?
I doubt it.
Really?
I doubt it.
No.
Yeah, I doubt it.
No kids? Yeah, then I guess I don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, people change.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't know. He's been out of the limelight for so long.
Yeah. I was gonna say something too. Oh crap! Yeah. So this program is always sponsored by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com, and if you call them up or shoot them an email or whatever, and you get going with a home loan or refinance, mention our show, and you can get $500 lender credit or 0.125 off of your interest rate. Ask for Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad.
Mm-hmm. Aiden Olson's dad is waiting for your call.
Yeah.
Operators standing by.
Aiden Olson's actually, well, he was. I'm not sure if he's still there, but he was cleaning our bathrooms today.
Woo! They
So
needed it.
I've got I've got some help, which I want to talk about today with the track build. But I've got Aiden came and cleaned all 3 bathrooms, including the outside one. Andy Barrett brought his help with him, and she was also cleaning some stuff, which is pretty awesome. And then Tom Smith and Steve Smith and Jackson Anderson were working on the track when I left about 45 minutes ago. The track itself is it's all raked out. So all we got to do now is tamp and water and tamp and water and tamp and water and put the pipe down. So the track itself should be done tomorrow night.
Really?
Yeah, and then it's going to get painted on Wednesday. Wes Hicks is going to paint the track, paint some around the track a little bit, the walls and stuff. That big rust spot on that tin wall that we have.
Yeah,
he's gonna paint that whole thing.
Wow, that's nice of him.
Yeah, that should look a lot better. And
he's
then,
probably just like, wait till you get the bill.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, I cleaned. That's how I ruined my Hobbyplex hoodie with bleach. Was I cleaned all the crap off the garage doors. I cleaned the entryway with cleaner with bleach, and so of course I got it all over myself. And then it smelled really good though. You know,
you were soaked in bleach.
Not all the way soaked in bleach, but you know.
Yeah.
That was a Nirvana reference. Did I get that?
Yeah, it was.
Nice. Yeah, so then, and I also cleaned. I actually did clean the bathrooms a couple weeks ago too myself, and then the last thing is on Wednesday, Tom usually comes in and cleans the pit area, and we got to get that all set up, and I got to get all the names put down for the pit spots and everything. It's gonna be, there's so much work to do still.
Yeah.
It's just it's almost overwhelming. But it would be more overwhelming if I didn't have the help that I got. Doug Blaney, he's a customer of ours, but also my wife's coworker's husband. He's got a lot of equipment, so he brought a treaded Bobcat yesterday, and the tiller attachment for the Bobcat.
That would be like with track
Yes,
style.
Exactly. And so we were able to knock the track out. Like basically, the reason why I wanted an extra day was because what we got done yesterday would have taken me the entire day on the little tractor.
Wow.
Like I would have only gotten the big pile of dirt done. I would have gone home at like 2 a.m. last night and only having that done. And we actually got like half the track done yesterday.
Huh,
because
that's
of the
pretty
Bobcat.
awesome.
And he tilled the straightaway.
Yeah.
So all that dirt got churned up. So, and then Kyle Gannon came yesterday morning and helped me. He basically built the entire back wall by himself.
Yeah.
And we're going to paint that so it looks real nice and uniform, kind of a primer gray kind of color. And it's going to look really good.
That's cool.
So we're getting a lot accomplished. We're kind of getting what I wanted to get accomplished. So even though I'm still going to stress out all week about it, I'm,
yeah.
you know.
And I have your car.
Yeah, I know. I didn't ask for that, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Two wheels all clapped out, so I was going to rebuild it for him.
Out, but it's hard for me to accept help like that, though.
Well, you got to have a guy you can trust.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't let anybody touch my car. A lot of it is because if something goes wrong, like I don't want anybody else to blame. I just want it to be me. Like, oh yeah, that's because I'm stupid and I forgot to, put a screw on or something.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a pretty good pit guy, that kind of thing. Car preparer.
Dude, I held your car after that practice session.
Oh, when I pulled off because it was so good, I didn't want to waste it.
Yeah, and I was like holding your car, and I was like feeling everything, and that's when I realized that my car was super clapped out. I'm like, holy crap, Will's car is like nice. mine's like, ugh.
Yeah, your car's like, nah. Hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah, that's like your car.
Baby woof.
Mm-hmm.
Chunk like baby woof.
Mm-hmm.
I miss that movie. That's a go-to movie.
The Goonies? I don't think I've ever seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I ever have.
Goonies influenced a major part of my life. There's been several movies that have been like made such an impact on my life that it defined who I am, and Goonies is actually one of those movies because after I saw that movie, I was for sure that there were secret tunnels and like passageways and stuff in my elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
And from like first grade through maybe fifth grade, I made it like my mission in life to get down into the basement and try to find all the secret tunnels and passageways in this school. And then one night for Boy Scouts, they opened up the bottom of the stage and they pulled out the Pinewood Derby set that they had stored down there.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the opportunity to go into the bottom of the stage and I poked around, and then nobody realized that I was in the bottom of the stage. And so they shut the doors and essentially locked me in. And of course it's the stage underneath, so there's no light whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that time too, I used to think that like all the porcelain animals and the pictures on the wall all were like conspiring to watch me at home. Like their eyes would like move, and I could have swore that this zebra that I had at home was like breathing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used to be definitely scared of the dark when I was a kid. And
oh, really?
So yeah, so being in the stage, complete darkness, nobody knowing that I'm actually in there, was a very traumatizing experience, and it's all because of Goonies.
Yeah, I when I was in high school, so the high school I went to actually did have tunnels underneath of it. It went like clear out to 70th Street, I guess.
Oh wow!
But we had to go down there for band equipment one time, and it just like it was kind of neat to see all that stuff. But I guess I was just saying my high school actually had that, like all this stuff under there, and there was like dirt walls and stuff. It was kind of neat.
That's pretty cool. Our high school had a secret passageway between the top floor and the roof that they stored stuff in, and I found that out because my friend Jenny, we got tasked with getting something for the art department, and because her dad was this teacher there, she knew everything about it, and so she took me up there to grab all this stuff, and I was like, what the hell? You could like walk the distance of it, and you could look down into every single classroom on the top floor.
Huh.
It was nuts.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Now it's not a secret anymore.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Actually, that room, this is a weird podcast tonight, but that whole ordeal there, it wasn't an ordeal, but that discovery led me to I was the cartoon editor for the newspaper my senior year, and I had this serial comic that was never done before for the newspaper. And my plan was to have, a storyline go through all, 9 months or 8 months, maybe 9. How long are we in school for? 9 months? For all 9 months, it was going to finish, and it was going to have this big climax at the end with this dude crashing through the Viking Center and tackling somebody. I don't know what, I can't remember exactly what happened, but it all had to do with that top floor secret passageway. I was going to expose it in my cartoon.
Yeah.
And then the cartoon was so unliked that it got canceled after the third edition of the paper.
You weren't like, but it's gonna get better.
I was trying to, and it was a decision made by the journalism teacher and basically the whole editorial staff. They were like, "Yeah, we don't really like where this is going. Can you just do political cartoons?" And so that's what I did. I did political cartoons in that spot the rest of the year. I got second at state though for political cartoons, so I was all right.
Yeah.
Well, you want to talk about this weekend? There's not much to talk about leading up to this other than I did want to get in all the help I had. So I want to thank, Doug, Kyle, Jackson, Tommy, Steve, Andy Barrett, Aiden Olson for volunteering some time so far. So it's been a good couple days so far. So I'm pretty happy and satisfied with that.
Me too.
The track's going to be freaking cool. I hope when it's all done and painted, it's going to be so amazing. I'm going to be bummed out that I got to actually like mess part of it up when we return to oval racing in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because part of it kind of goes on to the oval for now.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, I'll make it work. It'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
Anyways, so what do we have this weekend? We had, oh, good Lord. That's right. We had 80 entries on Friday night.
Yeah. This is for beginner night.
This is beginner night. This isn't our regular club race. This is beginner night, which I think the most we've ever had on a beginner night, if I remember correctly before this, was like 60 something. And we were like, holy crap, like this is awesome. So, dude.
Family Friday off-road, because when you're here, you're family.
Yeah, exactly. 47 Plex spec entries on so it was and then I looked at the heat sheets, and I think Trevor really, so I don't run Friday nights usually. I am going to be running one of these coming up, but Trevor Zelazny runs it for us, and he really packs them in. I think the heats had like 12 cars in them.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then we still had I believe a heat of like stock buggy and mod buggy. I'm going to bring it up here in a second, but that's crazy. And I got cupcakes again for everybody, because the week prior we had, what did we have? We had 32 plexers or something like that. And my rule was that if we got 30 or more Hobbyplex entries, we'd buy cupcakes the following week.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's 47. So I think I need to up the goal, maybe 50. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe I should get 50.
I mean, once you made your goal, you have to set a higher one.
Yeah. So, my phone is not quite loading yet. Where's it at? Boy, it's taking its sweet time. Anyways, I do that a lot when I'm trying to. Oh yeah, 83 entries altogether, 65 people on a Friday night. So needless to say, it was a very late night.
Yeah.
I actually was kind of happy. Also not happy because I knew that I had to be back the next day in the morning right away, and I knew Saturday was going to be a long day. But I did get a bunch of stuff done upstairs in the store. I rearranged the tire section to try to get us some more room, because I had a whole bunch of rims, and we got a lot more tires coming for this big race. And I was actually able to get that all done because there were so many entries, and I'm the one with the key, so I got to stay there and lock the doors. So I actually, it all worked out. So
kind of like me mounting tires during this podcast.
Nice.
All working out.
I got my tires pretty much all, I should say the tires I had. Emerson roached a pair of silvers on Saturday, and he didn't even finish a qualifier or a main.
Really?
Yeah. He broke in both qualifiers, and he broke in warm-up of the main. And I looked at his car, and I was like, dude, how can you ruin, like, completely stripe a whole, right side tire and not complete a qualifier?
Oh.
Like, how does that even happen?
Just lucky, I guess.
I guess.
No, I'm mounting. Like my two-wheel tires are all done. I have probably way more tires than I'm gonna need, but I'm just mounting up some silvers just to have them ready. And then my four. Oh yeah, I did get my four-wheel tires done. Those are done. I have a couple of sets already. I just have 2 more sets of tires to mount, and then I'm done mounting tires.
Yeah.
But I just like to have it done. Like, I don't like mounting tires at the track.
Yeah.
It just takes it takes me too long, or it doesn't really even take me too long. I just don't like getting all the stuff out and doing it.
I like taking my time.
I probably have shock oil on my hands. And,
I'll leave a rubber band on my tire overnight sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't do that. I actually I saw this when I went to that race at Thunder Road for that carpet, where you clean the bead how you normally would, and then you spray the CA kicker in a, like, they're using like Dixie cup, or not Dixie cups, but Solo cups. And I just had this like Rubbermaid container, and a tire like fits in there, and so I was just like putting it under there, sitting it, and like had a real production type thing going.
Nice.
I was just doing that, and it makes it go pretty fast.
We just got a super chat.
Really?
Nick Nuthouse, $10.
Woo!
Thanks for taking the time to share the track build videos. Glad to see everyone helping out. Going to break down and buy a buggy 2-wheel drive kit. Should I go Losi or Associated? I have no preference. The age old argument.
Yeah. The question you should ask yourself is, well, obviously I'm going to tell you to buy an Associated
Are you
car.
a Losi guy or are you Associated guy?
Well,
I don't know.
I don't really think it even comes down to that. I think that a lot of it has to do with is one, what surface are you running on? Are you running on carpet or dirt? And also, how many people do you have at your track running one particular brand over another? So, I mean, if the place that you're running is more heavy, like one way or the other, then that's probably the direction I would go. But I mean, my Associated cars, I've had one set up on my car for a pretty long time now. And I really haven't changed it a whole lot. I think the only thing I did do is move my arms back, a little bit longer wheelbase, and that's the only thing I've changed on my car since July. And it's hard to find a car that you can do that with.
Yeah.
That's just consistent all the time. Like, what it's going to do. It's very predictable. But I've never driven, and, like we've talked about before, the Associated for me feels like it's easier to work on, mainly just because of the diff, taking the diff in and out.
Yeah.
But, does your hobby shop have more parts for one versus another? What's the surface you're running on? That sort of stuff. But I would say I'd go Associated just because for me, my car is always very consistent. So that'd be the only reason why.
Having owned both cars, I had a 5.0 Elite at the start of last year because I had it left over from carpet, and I'm like, you know what? Let's put this thing on dirt. And then going back to an Associated car. For me, I felt the Associated B62 got into the track better than the Losi car. I was instantly faster with the B62 with no setup changes, period.
Yeah.
So from personal experience, for me, for my driving style, how I drive nowadays, how much work I feel like doing to the car as opposed to what I have to do to the car, the associated car was better for me. That's not saying that if Losi comes out with a new car, or when they come out with a new car, I won't buy it. Like, I will buy it. I will probably have one and give it a shot because at heart, I've always been a Losi guy up until, 2017 or whatever. But just from my own personal experience so far, the B62 just was, for me, I was instantly faster. And it's easier to work on. You can't get around that part of it. You just can't. It takes 5 screws to get to the diff. It takes 13 screws to get to the Losi diff. That's my main gripe about the ease of maintenance on the 5.0.
Yeah.
But that being said, Tom Ritterneck's kicking our butts with a Losi car. So
yeah,
it's true. they're both good. I would say no matter what, stick to one of the two. You're going to find parts support at the Plex. You're going to find people driving both at the Plex. So no matter what, you always got that going for you. So hopefully the next Losi car that comes out will have a very easy diff access. The 4-wheel drive does. The 4-wheel drive's awesome. It's easy to get to the 22X4 diffs. Very easy. Very easy car to work on. So, and that thing was a beast. And I didn't have to do any setup changes to that either. I just drove it. It was great. But that's 4-wheel drive. So hopefully we answer your question. All right, let's get into results real fast from Friday night because we had a C main of Plex Spec. A main was, it looks like 9 cars because on Friday nights too, there's always a handful that go home early. So it kind of helps the program. Josh Christensen's been on a tear here in Plex Spec. He's driving a Typhon. Notice that I said Typhon, not Typhoon.
I say Typhoon.
That's a huge pet peeve of mine, but I keep my mouth shut at the Plex.
I don't want to. Ironically,
I know. I don't want to insult anybody, so I don't. If you say Typhoon in front of me, I know what you're talking about. I will let it go. But I will come on this program and talk about it because I think it's funny. Mm-hmm. But I say it because I think it's funny. Yeah, he's got a 3S Typhon, so it's a plastic chassis version of the Typhon. So it's technically it's called 10 scale in the box, right? Even though it's kind of an 8 scale. But he's been driving it great. He's been doing a really good job. Steve Wall got second. Jesse Ellithorpe got third. Nevin Sneathen got fourth. Greg Henry got fifth. Greg had to go. He was only here for maybe a week and a half or so, but I think he's a listener. But he's now down in Kansas doing a job. Mm-hmm. Michael Prendergast was eighth. Jacob Yoder was seventh, and Paul Yoder was eighth. And Levi Rothfuss was ninth in the Plex Spec A main. And again, everybody got cupcakes, so that's really good. Yeah. Even if you didn't win, you got cupcakes, and they were free. So free cupcakes.
Participation cupcakes.
Yeah, participation cupcakes. There's actually some left over. I ate some yesterday. It was really good. There was a 13.5 buggy class, and probably a combined 13.5 and mod class. So I'm going to guess here that Tommy Smith got a 15 at 6 flat. Took the overall win. Mason Herrick, 15.06. Mitchell Pavel did not start, so I think he was a modified. Connor Herrick, 14.02, was, let's see how this works out. So second in the 13.5 class. Ronnie Went was third. Matt Robinson was fourth. Justin Baker was fifth. So Tommy Smith won the whole thing, but he had a mod car, so he's not counted with the rest of them. The Herricks came up from Hutchinson to get some extra track time for this weekend, too, just to get a feel for the track. So they were here Friday and Saturday.
Nice.
And then there was a mod buggy class, and I believe this thing will change over. Why isn't this? Hopefully it's not frozen. I don't know. My phone's been acting goofy. I don't want this thing to come to a scratching halt. Did I say scratching halt?
Screeching halt. You did say scratching.
I did, didn't I?
That to me that sounds like when you tear the needle off a record. That's a scratching halt because you scratch records. You know what I'm saying?
That is funny. Jackson Anderson took the win with 14. Mason Herrick was second. Tommy Smith was third, and Mitchell Pavel again did not start. He probably went home because he knew he had to be back the next day to race too.
Iron Man. Did he race on Sunday too?
No, he did not.
Oh. Right.
Stock buggy, Jackson Anderson with his other car took the win. Steve Smith was second. Connor Herrick was third. Cody, God, I hope I don't kill his name. Kupke was fourth. Sheldon Portnell was fifth. Trey Wysocki was sixth. Nick Sneathen was seventh. Nevin was eighth. Justin Baker was ninth. Neither of those guys started, so either they broke out or they went home. And then they had a probably a good thing you didn't race Friday night. They had an electric 1/8 scale truggy class. And there was 11 of them.
Oh man, I'd have been clobbered.
This had to be either.
I could have been sitting in my pit, and I probably would have got hit by one.
I bet you half of these are mini truggies. So
Yeah.
Logan Prismanis with the win, and I know he's got an e-truggy. Jason Prismanis was second. I know he's got an e-truggy. Then it was Ronnie Wint, Matt Robinson, who had, I know, mini truggies. Josh Christensen, who I bet was running his Typhon in that class. Because on Friday nights, what a lot of times they'll do is they'll have like this just an open class. So it's you got Plex Spec, but then you got guys who want to race a second class. And so we let them run like, at first it was called Traxxas Open because it was just like /4x4s. And then it was Pro 4. So Trevor will just kind of pick out whatever class to put them all in. And they all basically go into that one. Jesse Ellithorpe was sixth. I know he had a mini truggy. And then Caleb Singh, Steve Wall, Greg Henry, Trey Wysocki, and Nick Sneathen. So there was 11 of them. Only 10 ran in the main. I bet you a couple of these were like Centons too. Some Arma Centons. So overall, I mean, super fun night. Man, there was a lot of kids there. So if you hate kids, Friday night is not your night to come. I don't hate kids. I have a kid. He's 14 now, so I haven't had to deal with any like screaming children in a long time. But for a while there, when you become a parent, that screaming and stuff, that kids do, kind of like you don't even notice it because your kid has done it and you're just like, you learn how to like
tune it
out. But let me tell you something. Now that he's 14 and it's been a while since we've had to deal with that sort of thing, the annoyance at whining, crying, screaming kids is starting to creep back into my life. Just a little bit. So I love kids. I feel like I have a good rapport with kids. Otherwise, I don't think our Friday nights would have been as popular as they are. But good God, there was a lot of screaming kids on Friday.
Yeah. I don't have kids. If anybody wanted to know, I don't have any kids.
Yeah, Will doesn't have any kids yet.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to have kids. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
I like all this free time I got.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Let me tell you, my wife, so my mom, bless her heart, when she was alive, she had instilled in me this like not to get married quickly. Like when I find the one, to not just jump into marriage. Because I think my mom and dad actually got married like 3 weeks after they met.
Really?
Which is a big no-no. People don't do that. That's not how it should work. I mean, maybe it worked for somebody, but I personally, and this was very good advice I got from my mom. My mom said, you've got to go through all 4 seasons with the person that you think you're in love with for the rest of your life to know how they are for a full year, to like, because like, winter time comes, you haven't seen the sun in what, a week now? And yeah. I turn into a giant poo-poo head. I need sunshine in my life. Right?
Yeah.
Well, my wife knows that.
You should supplement with some vitamin D.
Yeah. My wife and I have been together. We were together 3 years before we actually were married. And so she knew what she's in for at that point, And I think that's one reason why our marriage is so strong.
Yeah. My wife and I got engaged after dating for 3 months.
Yeah, it's better than 3 weeks. Better than 3 weeks. So, I forgot you guys kind of married kind of fast. But
Yeah, we did.
3 months is better than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad's on his third wife now, I think. Yeah, third wife, and that one also came kind of quick. I hope he's not watching right now. He's gonna give me a call. He's gonna call me and be like, "Why are you telling people my business?"
That's fine. When you're here, your family.
Anyways, where were we at? We were talking about the kids. Oh yeah, you're probably not gonna have any kids. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But hey, I'm fine with it. 47 Plex Speckers. Basically, for all the naysayers out there that say RC is in trouble and it's going downhill and all this other stuff, if you can somehow get your race program to attract young people and make it so that their parents don't mind them being at the track, right? Make an environment where there can be a whole bunch of screaming kids and nobody cares, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you can make a race program like that and don't treat them like crap and don't make too many rules, so that just make it so that they can show up with whatever car they just bought at the hobby shop, which is what Plex Spec is all about, and just let them go out there and do what they do out on the track. They're going to break, they're going to figure it out, or they're going to do a little bit of both. And eventually you're going to get some of those kids and some of those dads and some of those moms to transfer over to the other way that we race, which is a little bit more refined. And I guess I don't want to use the word serious, but you know what I mean? Like there's Friday night where basically nobody really cares where they finished, honestly. I mean, it's cool to win, and
unless you and I are racing each other.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But then on Saturdays, it's a different crowd. You're gonna pick off some of those Friday nighters to want to join the Saturday crowd.
Mm-hmm.
But you still got to maintain that same level of non-intimidation on a Saturday as well. You got to make it so that the people that are there are willing to, put a transponder hole in somebody's car without giving them crap or tell them their car sucks or anything like that, which we don't have, at least as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we've watched some of the JQ videos, and he brings up some good points on a lot of stuff. But from what we see around here, I don't necessarily believe that RC is dying in any way. People have been saying that for 30 years. I mean, the message boards in the 90s were all like, oh, RC's going to go away in 10 years. And then 10 years comes and we're all still here.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I do know what you're saying.
You want to move on to Saturday?
Sure.
You had a good day. I didn't have a good day.
It was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had a good day.
I guess I made the A, so that's still a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday. So we backed an 83 entry Friday night with 125 entries on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it felt like a Summer Series race again in many ways.
Yeah.
I think we got through it pretty quickly, though. Even with the late start, we started a little bit late. But even with that, we got done really at a very reasonable time.
Oh, yeah. What time were we done? Like 9?
Yeah. I think
8:30?
It'll say. Hold on a second here. The last race got done at 8:47.
That was close.
Yeah, that's really good.
Hmm.
Biggest class on Saturday was two-wheel modified. There was like 24 of them.
That's insane.
I know. And Mac and I were talking about this in our first qualifier. We're like, where you cannot go to too many club races and have even a class of modified, let alone 24 mod cars.
Yeah.
We're extremely lucky that you and I and Mitchell and Aiden and who else races mod all the time? And we're extremely lucky that we get to race mod every week.
Yeah.
When we can. So.
I think a lot of it has to do with, it's like, people, it's like, it looks like the next step,
Yeah.
like when we race it. Like it's kind of like the people that are racing stock, I feel like will eventually race modified.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unheard of, but like it's kind of neat how it's kind of like how we make it look fun and not intimidating.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that that's what really helps grow the numbers.
Yeah.
Like it modified is what it's supposed to be at our track. I feel like it's supposed to be the next step after stock.
Yeah.
Not career stock.
It's also cheaper.
I think it is.
By a lot. Like I can't, like, I got a new motor, but I only got a new motor because I sold my old motor on accident. Mm-hmm. Otherwise I probably would be running the exact same 7.0 I had 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And still be just as fast because it's a mod motor.
Right.
You know? I have one battery for each car.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't bought new batteries in at least a year. A new battery.
Right.
I haven't gotten a new battery in at least a year. You know?
Yeah. And you can just use a regular old charger.
Yeah. Then it's just tires.
Yeah.
Then all you got to do about it is just keep up on your tires. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just one of those things that if you race, you don't really have a choice. Tires are part of it.
Yeah. Tires are relatively disposable.
Yeah.
You know?
So we backed a 47 entry Plex Spec night, or entries in Plex Spec, with another like 17 on Saturday.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
So we had 2 heats.
We did. That way they can marshal each other too.
Yeah, that's nice.
Those of you out there listening, I got some questions on here. But one of the things that we've done for a really long time, I learned a long time ago, try your best to not make the beginner class marshal anybody else, because a lot of them don't pay attention anyways, and then you get that one guy who freaks out because he didn't get marshaled quick enough from a Plex Specker, and then that Plex Specker will never come back.
Right.
So if I can, what I try to do is have, if we have 2 or more heats of Plex Spec, I make the last heat of Plex Spec marshal the first heat of Plex Spec, and then they cycle through that, and then you make whatever is last in the order in the regular, more defined classes, marshal that first heat. That way, most of the time, if somebody wants to freak out an adult, usually they look up at him, do the whole, why are you yelling at me? And then that passes. But at Plex Speckers, a lot of times, that's part of the intimidation factor. They don't want to get yelled at by anybody.
Yeah.
The ironic thing is usually the one complaining about being yelled at on the track is the guy that actually is doing most of the yelling. Which, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I had to yell at Owen, not in a mean way, in our main, but he was watching his dad race, and I flipped over right next to him, and he was watching his dad race, and it took a couple seconds, and then I was like, Owen! And then he looked down and got me. But I wasn't, you were right next to me. Were you proud of me? I didn't stomp. Yeah. I didn't make a scene. I was just like, well, there went that.
Yeah. Well, out of the corner of my eye, I noticed you weren't driving anymore, and you're just watching the race.
Well,
I don't know. I thought you were watching my car, so I was trying to drive better.
Oh, nice. No, I was. That happened afterwards. We'll get to that here in a minute. I'll talk about that. But, anyways, Plex Spec. Josh Christensen again, another win. We need to get an e-buggy class on Saturday so he can race in that one. Nevin Sneathen, Lexi Bolin. He's going to be one of those dudes, I bet, that buys or gets himself a used B6 or a B74 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nevin Sneathen second, Lexi Bolin third, Dalton Conrad fourth, Grayson Stevie was fifth, Yahweh, Pena, I can't remember. I always kill the last name. But he got sixth. But I it's so fun having him race because you don't get to say Yahweh that often. I said this last week.
Mm-hmm.
Riker was seventh. Greg was eighth. Alexander Eckler made the main but did not start, but he qualified eighth. So I told him afterwards, I was like, dude, you did awesome. That was a lot of cars, and he made the main.
Mm-hmm.
So he did really good. He's a little dude, little young kid. And he was pretty happy, other than the fact that he didn't get to run his main, but still, he made the main. That's what's important. Then we had stock truck. Stock truck was weird. Just because the trucks they didn't look like, none of the trucks looked good on Saturday. And I say that not like in a mean way, but more like I don't know what was going on. If everybody just had new tires on or something or what. But everybody's truck looked weird.
I don't know. Yeah. Truck would definitely look kind of hard to drive.
Yeah.
But Brian Burnt's truck looked really good, but it's like once he got some of the crashes out of the way, like his last 3 minutes were really good.
Yeah. Yeah, he climbed back up in a second after a pretty horrible start.
Mm-hmm.
But Jake Wilkening, who kind of had a rough go of it in qualifying, just out of nowhere, took the win, and by like 14 seconds over Brian. Brian Burnt was second. Wes Hicks was third. Phil Palmer was fourth. Dayton Mosier was fifth. Nick Sneathen was sixth. TJ Williams was seventh. Brady Poppenow was eighth. Darren Schmidt was ninth. But, again, we had a full truck class, so that was good. I hate arguing, like not arguing, but trying to get extra marshals out there for classes that aren't full. It's no fun. So anytime that there's a full heat of anything, I'm super happy. So we had a four-wheel mod right after that. Got one of the big ones out of the way. Tom Rinderneck took the win. He's been on a roll lately. His stuff's working really good. Aiden Horn finished 5 seconds behind him, so he's closer. His four-wheel drive's been working pretty good the last couple weeks that he's been here, prepping for this race coming up.
Yeah, I think so.
Ethan Delaire from the bump moved up to third.
Yeah.
And nobody was really catching him. Vanderbeek qualified fourth, finished fourth. Alex Vanderbeek. You qualified fifth, finished fifth.
I was up to third though.
Yeah.
And I had a really good race with Caden.
Yeah. Caden was right behind you by like 3 seconds there at the end. Mitchell Pavel was seventh. Ruben King was eighth. Aiden Olson was ninth. And Tommy Smith was 10th. And Derek Wood didn't start.
Mm-hmm.
Derek had to go. He had a dinner with his mom. It was his mom's birthday.
Yeah.
And I was
got it.
I was pretty stoked because I got to use the whole I wish I had a mom thing.
Did you say that to him?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He didn't get it.
Oh.
Just whoosh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 13.5 buggy. So again, a bunch of weird finishes in a lot of these races. Owen Vanderbeek from the 7th qualifying position got a really good start and just was Gandhi. Finished first. David Peevler also got a really good start from the 6th spot, finished second. Ken Peterson from the 10th spot finished third. And so I think what happened was there was a big pileup at the start, and a lot of the guys in the back just sort of went around everybody.
Yeah.
Chance Rolk was 4th. Ruben King was 5th. Kyle Gannon dropped to 6th. Nick Pavel was 7th. Dustin Hosick was 8th. Bradley Peterson was 9th, and Connor Herrick was 10th.
He drove his 17.5 two-wheel.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. He broke his four-wheel and then was like, can I just run my two-wheel? And I'm like, I don't care. And so he drove his two-wheel and just couldn't quite hang. He hung on. The first 2 laps he was leading, and then after that, it just couldn't quite hang with those four-wheel drives.
Yeah, that would be tough.
I forgot all about that. Let's move on to mod two-wheel drive buggy. So Tom got the TQ in a win. Vanderbeek though finished second. Did he fall back a few times or once? Because
maybe I don't know.
For some reason, I thought he was behind me at one point.
I don't know. That race is so crazy.
There was a lot. There was a lot going on in that race. But he finished 4 seconds behind Tom. Maybe not. Maybe he was there in second the whole time. I guess I could look at the map down here at the bottom. Yeah, he was in second the whole time. What am I talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about.
I went clear to the back.
Did you?
Yeah.
I was in fourth for a little while. I qualified eighth, and even though I had a rough, I crashed a bunch on Saturday. There's a lot of stuff going on at the track too that I'm not making excuses, but my mind wasn't quite there on Saturday either. But I did put it together in the second qualifier to make sure I qualified in the A. But I was gonna. It was you and me again. I think at the time we were like fifth and sixth or something like that.
Yeah.
And we were not that far behind the guys in front of us.
No. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, I crashed on the first lap and went to eighth, and then everybody in front of me just kept crashing.
Yeah.
It was just like my car would get close to them, and it just like blow out of the way. I was like, oh, perfect. You know, it's like kept just like working, picking them off, and then like you were following me through some of the carnage, and then because you flipped over, and that's how I got around you, and then you were right there behind me, and I made another mistake. I think I was sixth again, and it just kind of kept working out.
Yeah.
Like,
so you got another third. So is that 2 weeks in a row or 3 weeks in a row?
Three in a row.
3 in a row. So you're right there.
Yeah.
You're the highest placing hobbyplexer. Although, I mean, nowadays like I said in the past, we can call Tom and Alex. We can call them locals now too, I guess. My wife just tried to call me in the middle of the podcast.
That's funny.
It is funny. Anyways, I pulled off in time to see you and Kyle Gannon have a pretty good race there at the end. You finished 0.8 of a second apart. So he got fourth, and from the 10th spot again. So there's a lot of moving around on the grid.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some track monsters that would just come up and bite you every once in a while.
Ethan Delaire qualified 7th, finished 5th, so he moved up. Drew Rubin King was one of the big droppers. He dropped down to 6th. Jeremy Fellas finished 7th. He had a good qualifier. He didn't even practice. He showed up late and did 2 qualifiers.
No, he practiced.
Did
he came at normal time. I mean, I thought he ran last week. He didn't run the first qualifier.
Oh, was it? So he was there this week? See, everything's blurring together. I don't even remember.
Oh.
Mac Vanderbeek was 8th. Aiden Horn, he was not very happy with his car, finished 9th. And I pulled off at lap 10 because I wasn't happy with my car either. It wasn't really my car's fault. It was just me. Just driving bad. I kept wrecking. The last time I wrecked right in front of Jeremy Fellas, and I was just like, I don't want to like ruin anything. My tires are good. I'm saving them.
Yeah.
So that was mod, and I don't know. For me, it was kind of a sour way to finish that 3-week stretch of dirt club racing. But for you, you're on a roll. I think you're looking good.
Yeah, I hope I do well this weekend.
I think you will.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Stock buggy. This one was a little bit more normal. Bradley Peterson with a TQ and a win. Ken Peterson, no relation, finished 2nd. Mason Herrick finished 3rd. David Peevler was 4th. Jackson Anderson from the 10 spot finished 5th. Chance Rolk was 6th. Owen Vanderbeek was 7th. Ashley McCormick was 8th. Dustin Hosick was 9th. And Chad Ruben King was 10th. Independent buggy. You had Steven Smith with a TQ and a win. It's like 1998 all over again. And Justin Stevie with 2nd, qualified 2nd, finished 2nd. Phil Palmer got a good solid 3rd. Andy LaChance was 4th. Nick Sneathen 5th. Brian Keever was 6th. TJ Williams fell back a little bit this week. Still got in a 13-lap run, though, in the main. Finished 7th. Joe Schnoes was 8th. Brady Poppenow was 9th. Janet Peevler was 10th. And then Mini Truggy, there wasn't many of them. Oh, crap. I didn't finish the race, and then I logged out of Lifetime, so it didn't show up on the interweb. That's a bummer. Yeah, I know. Let's see, who won that one? Who was there? I don't remember. Connor Herrick. Connor Herrick won Mini Truggy. Ronnie was 2nd, and whoever was there, Darren Schmidt was 3rd. And then
Nice.
Chance Rolk and Ashley McCormick, I put them in that race with their short course trucks because they wanted some track time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who won. I'm sorry
No.
to the two of them, but I didn't get it. I must not have finished the race, so it didn't save it. So went away. Just a little note on Saturday. I was almost out of my mind that morning because we had the printer toner was out Friday night, and of course I forgot on Saturday, so I didn't even go get it. And then so we didn't have a printer. But then I was like, well, everybody's got their phones and live RC anyways, so I'll just not worry about it, and I'll get toner this week. Well, then we lost the internet for some reason, out of nowhere, for no reason at all. And so then I was like freaking out. I'm like, well, crap, how are we going to upload the heat sheets?
Yeah.
And then what else? There was 3 things that were wrong all at once. It was printer, the
Power supply.
Oh yeah. The AMB power. Oh crap! I haven't ordered one of those yet. I need to do that.
No, you better.
I got to do that
Better
tonight.
get after it.
Yeah,
dude.
I know. The power supply to our AMB quit, so I had to go into the carpet one and grab that one so that we could race. Otherwise, we wouldn't even been able to race. So 130 entry day, and we didn't even have an AMB for the first part of the morning. So I was kind of freaked out. I was a little out of my mind on Saturday.
Yeah, I found that music from Office Space when they were beating up the printer.
I know.
At the end, and came in and was like ready to break the printer outside or something.
Yeah.
And you did not think that was funny.
I didn't even notice, to be honest with you. I was so focused on what was going on because I'm like, oh crap.
Mm-hmm.
I just recycle. It's weird because Tim said that he had internet on his computer, and I'm like, well, it's the same. I thought it was the router, but I guess the router was working. So then I restarted the computer, and then I plugged in and unplugged the switch that we had, and then all of a sudden it started working again.
Huh.
So it's just one of those weird things that has never happened before, and it just happened to happen on that day.
It's like the IT Crowd. Have you ever watched that show?
Mm-mm.
Like it's an English TV show. And it's called The IT Crowd, and it's on Netflix if you want to watch it.
Oh, okay.
But like they literally never fix a computer in that show. Like also, like people call down and they just pick up the phone and go, "Have you tried turning it off and on again?" And they turn it off and on again, and it works. Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off and on?
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so the last race of the week, and then we'll get to some questions and stuff. We had 54 entries on Sunday. I forgot that there was a Sunday race. So when I showed up to work on the track, I was actually pretty proud of myself because I actually got up in the morning and started to get there. Mostly because I told Doug I was going to be there. But then I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, why are all these cars here? And then it dawned on me that there was an on-road race. And I was like, oh, crap, I better get my car. So I worked on the track yesterday, and then I raced. I got in some on-road racing, so it was fun.
Yeah.
But there was 54 entries, 28 drivers, kind of par for the course this year for carpet racing on Sundays.
Yeah.
We'll just go straight to the mains. So Vintage Trans Am. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. What did they run here? USGT first A main. Okay, so USGT, there was 8 of us, but only 7 of us started the main. And Kenny had some sort of weird, I think he got booted off the track right at the start. And so he was basically a lap down at lap number 1. And so he pulled off, and so then there was just 6 of us. I did get the TQ, and I was feeling pretty good about my car, all things considered. I mean, I was going pretty fast and all that, but I kind of like Saturday, kind of left over. I just, unforced error, I just bounced off the pipe and gave up the lead behind Mike Clement, and that was that. So Mike took the win, and I got second, but we did basically tie in points, and I have a points lead, so I'm just milking that points lead now. Jason Rager finished third. I think that's one of his first podiums of the year. Dennis Reardon was 4th. Mason Ebner was 5th. Jaden Rager was 6th, and Ken McKinney was 7th. Tony Cook didn't run. Then you move on to Vintage Trans Am A Main. Dennis Raridan took the win. Chris Tyler was 2nd. Jason Rager another 3rd. Jay Hines was 4th. Ben Seidlich was 5th. Ron Chapluski was 6th. Olin Hines was 7th, and Tony Cook was 8th. Tony Cook usually dominates that class, so I didn't stick around to see what happened. I should have, but I went right back outside. The TCS Spec A Main, so these are those TTO2s. Charles Randall with the win. Jim Hungate was 2nd. Ron Chapluski was 3rd. Barry Evelyn was 4th. Ben Seidlich was 5th. Mark Ebner was 6th. TQ, Tom Quidensly, was 8th, and it looks like Logan Prismanis. Neither one of those two started for some reason. Euro Truck, those are the TTO1s with that cool Tamai Euro Truck body on them. Chris Tyler took the wins. Tim Ski was 2nd. Barry Evelyn was 3rd, and Mark Brigatti was 4th. It's weird that there's only 4 of them. There's usually more than that.
Yeah.
And then Formula One, there's a whole bunch of them. Ken McKinney was 1st. Tony Cook was 2nd. Jaden Rager was 3rd. Jim Hungate was 4th. Dennis Rader was 5th. Mason Ebner was 6th. Ben Seidlich was 7th. Olin Hines was 8th. And Mark Ebner was 9th. So it was 9 F1 cars. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then 12 scale, you had Mike Clement sticking it to everybody by 3 laps. Chris Tyler was 2nd. Kobe Krell was 3rd. Benjamin Fenton was 4th. Will Frericks was 5th. Olin Hines was 6th. And Ryan Wheeler was 7th. So, another huge weekend of racing at the Plex. And with that, we're going to take a pivot lending break, I think. And I'm going to text my wife back, who keeps trying to phone in. Maybe I should put her on.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Word from our sponsors.
Yeah!
This is a Pivot Lending Update with David Olson and Don Zoller. Get some.
This is David Olson with a Pivot Lending Update. Just want to kind of give you guys some of the activities going on in the conforming markets, some of the government markets, non-conforming jumbo markets. Now that we're into 2021, and here we go. Conforming loan limits have increased. So if you're looking for Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, new loan limit is $548,250. So you can take a loan on up to that amount. In the high cost areas, so for example, a lot of the counties contiguous to like Denver, some of the bigger metro areas, and Denver itself, high loan limit is $822,375. So those are the new lending loan limits for conforming. In the government world right now, we have FHA loans. We can lend up to $356,362. So if you're looking for an FHA loan, you now can go up to $356,362. It's really good. That's about almost $100,000 more than we were at 5-6 years ago. Used to be around the 271 mark. VA loans, you can go up to the same as the conventional, $548,250. Jumbo loans are $548,251, all the way up to $3 million. So we do a pretty good job in that space, actually, too. We have offices in some heavily populated areas of jumbo land out in Southern California, Scottsdale. We're now entering into New England. So if you happen to be in that jumbo territory, we've got some really, really, really good jumbo rates. VA, again, that was the $548,250. The last thing is USDA. USDA income limits have increased now in 2021. The new limit starts at $90,300 and tiers off at $132,050. Those are based on your household sizes. So the number of head in the household that gets you into that program. USDA is really nice. It is populations 25,000 and less. for your city or town size. There are a few counties in Nebraska that are grandfathered in, a few areas or cities, I should say. Norfolk and Columbus exceed that, but you can still get the USDA programs, I believe. You can also get into the USDA programs, which USDA is 100% financing. So it's very similar to the VA program. There are a few unique program guidelines that they offer. For example, if the appraised value is higher than the purchase price, you can actually borrow up to 100% of the appraised value to include in your closing costs. So that's pretty cool. All right, so those are kind of the updates for the loan limits and income limits going into this year. If you have any questions on those, make sure that you reach out to either myself or Dawn. I know that the guys on the podcast, Alex and Will, tend to say that I'm out and about a lot, and which is true, but I always have my cell phone on 402-881-5951, or reach out to Don Zoller, of course. I can get back to you and give you some updates on what you're looking for, and then get you with Dawn if she's unable to answer the phone.
David Olson, NMLS 16099. Don Zoller, NMLS 277589. Pivot Lending, NMLS 109995.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
I tried to get Gretchen to call in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she wouldn't do it. This is normally the time of the program where I take a kickstart break, but I didn't go get one because my mind was on other things.
I'll open a LaCroix here.
Okay. Chug it.
Oh, man. I should shotgun one of those. It'd be funny.
Yeah, you should.
Oh, man. So good.
I want to go through my latest text from Gretchen while we were in the middle of the show.
Okay.
All right. This is actually from the other night. This is from yesterday. Sausage and gooch for dinner. Now, here's the thing. I know that it wasn't meant to be gooch.
Is Taryn Ryder coming over to have dinner with you guys?
But also, isn't a gooch like something else?
Yes.
Yes,
yes,
that's
it
what I
is.
thought. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so anyways, what time tonight? Sausage and gooch for dinner, which I was like, what? And I just put late because I was on the tractor, and I'm like, I'm not even going to respond. Then today she sent me a picture of a Google tax document, which I'm pretty sure is my AdSense account from YouTube.
You're like, sausage and gooch, sign me up.
Yeah. She's like, what's this about? Because she does our taxes and she doesn't like surprises. And I was like, oh, that's probably our AdSense account. I did you open it? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, that's probably what it is. It's got my name on it. Then she tried to call me like 10 minutes ago, and then and I hit decline, which always makes her super happy. And then she put, when did you start podcasting? And then she goes, did you have any expenses? And
you
then
were like a year ago?
Yeah. And then like right now I'm live on the air at the podcast, ! And I sorry, my bad, forgot what day it was. Jeez. I go, and then this is during the break. I'm like, you want to call in? And she's like, no. And I go, you should do it. It'd be funny. And she goes, have enumeration. And I'm like, what the heck is enumeration? And then after I sent that, I got in, that was Emerson. So that's my son. And then she goes, stupid spell check, should be dumb check. Isn't enumeration counting money? And I haven't responded back because we're in the middle of a podcast. So
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either, but either way, she shouldn't be bothering me while I'm in the middle of a podcast. She knows better.
Yeah.
Anyways. Unless it's funny, and then I don't care. There's some questions. Not many, but
Okay.
Let's see.
How many viewers did we have? Or do we have?
At one point, I think we had 24, 25.
That's nice.
I actually didn't put on the show on the Facebook page that we were going live. I forgot to do that today.
24 is pretty good with no advertising.
Yeah, it's pretty good. How can someone build a racetrack, an RC track? That's a very, A, you need land.
Mm-hmm.
And then B, you just, I would say the easiest way is to rent yourself some sort of skid steer. And I guess the way that I do it is I have a graph paper, and I plot out exactly where I want things to be. And then I take a tape measure and a string line, and I go out there and I try to get everything where you need it to be and make it match what's on the paper.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to there could be a very long-winded answer to that question.
I guess if you're just building a backyard track, though,
Yeah.
you need a shovel and a hand tamper.
Yeah.
And not to glue your finger to a tire.
I would. It's pretty cheap to rent a vibrating plate tamper.
Is it?
Yeah, they were like
I guess you can go over to Home Depot and order one.
Yeah, it's like $40 for the day. They're not too terrible when we used to rent them.
Yeah. You just go out there and probably mow your backyard.
When I was a kid, my mom wanted to. She actually let me put a track in the backyard, and I took these giant sheets of plastic that we had, and I put them down over the grass for like a week and let the sun beat down on it. It actually killed all the grass.
Perfect.
So I didn't even really have to dig anything. It was crazy.
Yeah, I used to just mow the grass like really short. Like I'd put the blade all the way down and mow the track that I wanted.
Yeah.
Like after a week of grass growth.
Yeah.
And I just drive on that, Yep. If you had like a Stampede or something, it'd be perfect for that.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Do I need help with the track? I mean, always, but I was actually pretty happy with the volunteers we had now. But if you want to come out tomorrow, I'm sure I could find some work for you to do. Tony RC Bud says, "You guys are boom. Keep it up, fellas." That's awesome.
Ooh.
Thank you.
All right.
Nine House is back on here. He says, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
No, fine. Thanks for asking.
But he needs to get back to the track.
Oh.
What else do we have? Lance Murray said, "The Plex is the best. Friday night is tons of fun and great learning night. The kids make him laugh."
Awesome.
I'm glad they make you laugh. Because sometimes they make me want to take a needle and stick it in my eye, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I love all the kids. Steve RC said, "Someone mentioned that I should get his kid bar tires for a Centon, and he would have better traction. What are your thoughts?" I mean, basically the stock tires on a Centon are pretty hard, and they're lugs. They're not really meant for clay tracks. So if you go upstairs and you get a set of positrons and mount them on your Centon, you're going to find yourself going, this works pretty good.
Do you have to get like any adapters or anything like that to do that?
Yeah. For a Centon, they go from 14 to 12 millimeter, which we carry.
So like my thought process here is, if you're going to put all this money or, because like what's next? Now you have traction. Now you're going to need more steering. So now you're going to have to upgrade your servo. And then now you got all this traction and all the steering. You can put your car where you want it. You're probably going to have to get maybe more of a race style ESC and motor stuff. So my advice would be run your car the way it is. It is what it is. And if you're happy doing that, do that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to try to get stuff to race more competitively, I would just get a 2-wheel drive buggy.
Yeah.
And
because a full set of positrons is like $70.
Yeah. So I think that you would be money ahead in the long run to get like a car that's more designed for racing if you want to keep racing.
Yeah.
You know, if it's getting to the point where you want more grip and you want to take it, you know, try to do more laps, and you know that's the part of the fun of it. I would recommend that. I would probably go for that. Go for a 2-wheel drive buggy, and then you'd have the, you know, tires are going to be cheaper. You're going to be able to race it in more classes, and it'd be just kind of your next progression. This, you know, the Centon's cool and all, it got you into it, but if you're going to keep upgrading that, because that's what kind of burns people out. They keep upgrading one car, and you can't really do a whole lot with it after you put all this money into it.
Yep.
Well, I think your next progression would be to get a buggy or a stadium truck.
Yeah, definitely. I think Steve and Alex are going to be one of those that gets a buggy here in the future as well.
Yeah.
I think there's quite a few of those Plex speckers that I see them eyeing the stuff that we go, and they're kind of like, I want that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mauricio is back on here from Colombia.
Hey, Mauricio.
Your opinion from mini crawler versus new size, full size new. And then he drops a whole bunch of different names: Axial 24, Panda Tetra, Enduro 24, etc. You know, boy, that's a loaded question, because there's a lot of really cool 24 scale stuff. And what's fun about 24 scale stuff, and why I've been thinking about getting one, is because there's all these upgrades for them now. And then I could like make a crawler course for my basement, like my room.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take that much to make a sweet little 24 scale crawling course and actually have it inside and not get yelled at.
Just visit your Woodland Scenic
exactly.
section of Hobbytown.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
the railroad section.
That being said, the new Enduro HD looks pretty cool. Same body, different bumpers. They did the bed that I had on mine, and then it's got all the HD parts on it. So it's a pretty good upgrade for the Enduro, the associated Enduro crawler. Mine worked really well. I don't know. I got bored with it. Like I do that. If like there was nothing left to do to it.
Yeah.
So I got a different one.
That's cool.
But anyways, man, it's a loaded question. I would say if you want to have fun in a small space, stick with the smaller stuff. You know, like if you got a garage or something that you want to, you know, you can use and make something cool. Or, you know, if you got a bigger backyard and, you know, you're in Colombia, so you don't have to worry about snow or anything like that. So, you know, if you got some space, get the bigger one. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, but they can go more places too.
Yeah.
John Haas wants to know, will the track be open Wednesday for practice? No, it will not. It's getting painted on Wednesday.
Thursday at 4 o'clock.
Thursday at 4 p.m. Yep, exactly. And let's see, what else do we got here? What's y'all's favorite class?
Two-wheel drive modified
Yeah,
buggy.
I was going to say mine's mod buggy too. That's a pretty easy one. Thanks, Will and Jeremy, for taking the time into a stadium truck. Picked up a T62 Sunday so that he can run that in another class. That's Dan Johnson. So
nice, Dan.
He's another one of those plexers that's been getting, and he's been getting better too. Big Dude's the one who asked about the favorite class. His is always 110 scale stadium truck. Stock stadium truck or buggy. My mod truck used to be my favorite class back in the T3 days. That was a long time ago.
Mod truck, like if we were racing mod truck, that'd be one of my favorite classes. Mod buggy and mod truck, man. Mod truck will always have a special place in my heart.
Yeah. Yep. We got a super chat, and then we're almost done. Super chat from Racer Oz from Ken Peterson. $10 from Ken Peterson.
Thanks, Ken. Hey, I didn't know you cared.
Yeah. Will we be able to get handout tires in time to glue them up Thursday before practice? Thank you for your effort. Yes. Yes, you will. I believe if they didn't show up today, they're showing up tomorrow. And that's Wednesday. One of the things that I'm going to do while I got Wes down there painting is I've got to brand all these tires for the handouts. And, yeah, they'll be ready for Thursday for sure. I'm going to make sure that happens. Unless something weird happens and the shipping gets messed up and we don't get them. But I'm not going to talk about that because the likelihood of that happening is pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to Nick Nuthouse. Does the Plex have parts for the associated T3? Have one sitting on the shelf? Not really. We have a couple. I believe the T3 still uses the older style spindles and hubs, and we might actually have those in stock because the old gas truck uses them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we still have them in that part number, but Associated has actually been discontinuing a lot of the older parts. So the more that we sell of those, the more they don't come back. And I can tell you that the numbers, so their part numbers, when you work at a hobby store, you get used to how everybody has their part numbers. And you basically have, like Associated used to start with like 1.7 for all the factory team stuff, 1.5, and then they'd go to like the RC10 used to be in the 6s, and the third generation stuff used to be in the 9s, and then the B4 stuff was in the 9s, and now everything is a 5-digit number. Like the B6 and B7 stuff is all like 914, 915, 916. And all that older stuff in those part number ranges are all, it's just been going like this, shrinking and shrinking every time I go through there. So more than likely, probably not, but we might have one or two things. So
yeah, TRA 3232X. Do you know what that is?
Glow plugs.
Yep, that's a glow plug.
Yeah,
that's the like one Traxxas, or I had a lot of the Traxxas
3655X. What's that?
I didn't hear what you said.
3655X.
Is that a rear hub carrier?
Close. Rear arms for
what is it?
Rear arms for a rustler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, back in monster truck, not gas monster truck heyday, that was a very popular thing to sell at Hobbytown.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
We're almost done. Mauricio says gracias de nada.
Yeah.
I hope I got that right. I took 4 years of college Spanish, so.
I, however, have not.
That's the extent.
I, however, have not.
All right, we're almost done. There's a couple left here. Thursday is INS practice only, right? I mean, technically no, but I don't know. Yeah, you could probably come and practice Friday. It starts at 4. I don't think there's going to be near as many people there Thursday as Friday. Yeah. Friday, yes. Friday's INS practice only because we won't have any pit spaces for anybody. But Thursday, you might be able to get away with it. The problem is that we have all these pit spaces marked. And so if you come in and you sit on somebody's pit spot and they happen to come in while you're there, then it turns into a thing. And
I would probably recommend probably not.
Yeah, I that's kind of where I'm at too. I would almost sit it out and just wait for next week.
Yeah, because the thing is you're going to have guys that are driving that are going to be pretty serious.
Well, and so I mean, John's a pretty good driver. His mini truck.
I don't know who asked.
Yeah,
sorry,
but I mean, I'm actually more worried about pit spots.
Oh, okay.
Because
I didn't know if it was
that happened in the Techno series where like somebody came in and they wanted to run Friday, but not race, and they came in and they sat in somebody's spot, and then they came in, and then I'm like, hey, you got to move your stuff, and he was like, well, I already got my stuff laid out, and I'm like, well, I told you. Somebody comes, you got to move, you know. Will there still be Family Friday off-road? No. Nope, not this weekend. This weekend, no Family Friday off-road. It's a national event. You're going to be, if you come in on Friday to check it out, you're going to be shocked by how many people are in the pits.
Yeah, just come watch.
Yeah, come watch and check it out. Ever going to be another re-release of the RC10 Worlds or other old cars? Probably not the Worlds car. The Worlds car didn't sell very well.
Yeah.
But I
have no idea.
I would love for them to re-release the Gold Tub so I could actually get one this time.
Yeah, you would think that they might, because they had to remake all those molds.
Yeah.
They didn't have the original molds anymore, is my understanding. So, like, there's people that want them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's a little. I know it's a little more difficult than just retooling or changing the tooling out.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Speaking of re-release, the Tamiya stuff. One of the hobby news we didn't get to this show because we're still here taking a long time. But Tamiya just released a whole bunch of cool stuff. No king cab again. This is like the 10th year in a row that I've wanted. And kind of, I've talked to the Tamiya guys before at the thing, and I've been like, so, you ever going to re-release a King Cab, Nissan King Cab? And they're like, oh, maybe. And then this year, still no re-release of the Nissan King Cab, so I'm pretty bummed out.
Yeah, I would.
I found one on eBay, but the guy wants like $500 for it. I'm not going to spend $500 for a car I'm never going to drive.
I still need to build my Clodbuster.
Yeah, you do. I'm going to get the regulator chassis for my Clod. I got the bullhead done, but the Clodbuster I have to the Clodbuster I have I'm going to turn it into the regulator.
Yeah, I'm going to get I'm going to build mine with that. I'm going to do it upright.
And then I'm going to mount up.
Yeah.
It's a Warren G song.
Oh.
That's okay.
Okay.
All right. I just snorted. All right, we better go. I got to go back to the track. So I got a couple hours.
No more questions?
Nope, that's it.
All right.
There's 27 people on right now, but
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
So, do we get any thumbs down again?
You know, I'm not on the thing, so I don't. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Nope, not this week. Yay.
That's good. Everybody like this, please.
Yeah, everybody like this one. It does actually. It helps with the algorithms. So
yeah, and actually, on the whatever podcasting service you use, if you could give us a review and some stars, that'd be cool.
Yeah, a positive review.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, follow your heart. Tell us what you think.
Okay, fine. Yeah, you can give us bad reviews. That Alex guy, man, he's a butthole.
Yeah. But because it makes it so people find our podcast easier.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's mainly it. Like, we don't make anything off that.
Yeah. All right, we better go. I got to go back. This show, as always, sponsored by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. And if you go through with a refinance or home loan and you mention our show, you can get $500 lender credit or 0.125 off your rate. And it's pretty awesome. You can get a hold of Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad, might as well. Or maybe both. Try both. Never know.
I'd probably just talk to Aiden Olson's dad.
Yeah. And he'll direct you to Don Zoller either way. So either way,
yeah,
you're
or
going to
Don.
talk to Don Zoller. So
I know Aiden Olson's dad. I've never met Don. So.
Yeah, I've met her. We FaceTimed once.
Oh,
here.
really?
Yeah, here in the studio. In the Weberized.com studio. Which we don't give them a shout out enough because I always forget. But if you guys want to start your own podcast, you should get a hold of Weberized.com because they can even do it remotely, just like we're doing.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in the studio. I come here because it's my sister and I get to talk to her every week, but you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. I'll see you guys later. And I will see you this week.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see you on Thursday.
All right.
Pick Thursday and Friday off from work.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yep.
See you guys.
Thank you very much. Bye.